Hello, welcome back to Zekism. So, Fantastic Four First Steps has debuted in cinemas very, very well. It's blasted off to $218 million worldwide. And everyone seems to want to pit it, well, not everyone, but people online seem to want to pit it against Superman as to which performed better, which was better, which was critically better, blah, 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 blah. So we'll look at the financial performance first of all. It's being reported now, it's Sunday evening. Fantastic Four First Steps blasts off with a $218 million global bow, and there's also milestones aplenty for Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, F1, and How to Train Your Dragon from the international box office. This is from Deadline, as I said, sort of the trade paper, but Marvel Disney's Fantastic Four is coming with an estimated $218 million global opening. Whilst this is lower than where we saw it yesterday, it remains the pre-weekend projection, both worldwide and in terms of international box office. The latter landed at $100 million, the top end of our pre-opening projection. They're patting themselves on the back there. The overseas debut is 13% ahead of Thunderbolts, 11% ahead of Superman, and 4% above Captain America Brave New World in like-for-like markets at current rates. The Fantastic Four folks also scored the biggest superhero opening of 2025 in Mexico, the UK, France, Italy, Spain, and the European and Latin American regions, as well as several smaller markets. Go away articles. The offshore take of $100 million is about 46% of the global total. Normally in this genre, we see overseas numbers much higher than domestic, but that's not been the case recently. See Superman's bow at 43% from overseas. Is it a sign of the times? Or properties or other vagaries? Likely a mix of those, but Hollywood is also facing challenges in Asia, where it's not done particularly well in China, which they're going to now. We've known for a while now that China is not the slam dunk it once was, and that's factored into consideration. What's more worrying is that studio films are not always clicking amid local productions in other Asian markets. This weekend is perhaps an anomaly because there is a huge movie, Demon Slayer Kimetsu, no cover, I'm not going to try in Japan, and also a new local title in Korea. All boats rise, but there's rethink needed for audiences in the region. This is food for thought, or that we'll revisit. But speaking of a movie that's doing better domestically than overseas, Warner Bros. Superman has stopped the $500 million milestone now at $502.7 million worldwide, including 213 from international. So it's not exactly a bomb worldwide, but it's not doing as well internationally as it has been domestically, which is, not a sign for the times, but it's an interesting note. On the flip side, Universal Amblin's Jurassic World Rebirth has topped $700 million globally, with the heftier overseas haul of $416.8 million, with Apple Original Films F1 via Warner Bros. Has sped to $509 million worldwide amid great holds, and with $344.1 coming from the international box office. I'm staggered that film's done as well as it did, especially because it's an Apple thing and you think it'll be on streaming relatively quickly. Amazing, really, and credit to them, I guess, for making the films resonate. But we'll pause there. We'll get into some of the minutiae of the performance because it is interesting and noteworthy. Like I said, Fantastic Four has debuted to $218 million globally. That's $2 million less than Superman, which debuted at $220 for their opening weekend, although they did have an extra couple of days, should I say, of box office to go to. Not that it competes, but it is noteworthy. Not that Tuesday or the Wednesday should matter too much, but it was a holiday weekend, I believe, in America, Independence Day weekend. Or the likes, apologies. But it is comparable because Captain America 4, which was widely regarded as not a great film by critics and audiences, they thought it was fine, which is probably my thought as well. Debuted to $192 million worldwide, which is not dissimilar to the totals we're discussing now. Obviously, it's slightly lower, and Thunderbolts, which was released in May, debuted to $162 million worldwide in their opening weekend, and went on to eke out a $400 million total globally, as did Captain America 4. So it's going to be interesting to see. Superman's already surpassed that, hitting the $500 million mark. I think Fantastic Four is going to make that total as well, and then probably then some. Superman and Fantastic Four also have the summer holidays internationally, I guess, but certainly in the Western markets, in America and here in the UK and in Europe. All the kids are on summer holidays now, so I think these two are the two of the standout films for the summer holidays. So it's interesting whether they'll be able to eke out. I don't see much competition coming out of cinemas. Naked Guns released this Friday, but I don't think they're competing for the same audiences. So it is interesting and noteworthy. I guess my point for this video is the comparison between the two. Captain America 4, not even that. Superman and Fantastic Four, which some outlets in the media want to compete with each other. Which did better? Which is better? You want my personal take? And again, I don't want to drive a wedge between them competitively. I enjoyed both of them. Maybe for slightly different reasons, but I enjoyed both films. And I think we should live in a world where you can enjoy both films. For me, I enjoyed Fantastic Four First Steps was a more tighter film. I think it was more narratively secure. I think the script was probably better and more rounded. But I had probably more fun, maybe, in Superman. I think that was a much more fun time at the cinema, perhaps. So me being sort of the Marvel guy, you would think I would naturally just say, "Oh, Fantastic Four." But no, I think there is scope for both. I think we live in a world where every 5 minutes you're going to hear superhero movies dead, and they're killing the industry, or whoever. There's so much negativity surrounding the genre of blockbuster filmmaking, but especially superhero films, because they've been dominated for so long. And I think there is a conceited effort to sort of drive a wedge or drive a stake in their heart, sort of thing, so that they can move on. But realistically, there are audiences out there for the superhero films. I being one of them, and I know there's a few online. But the point is, why they want them to compete against each other, when actually history has shown when one succeeds, the other succeeds in the box office as well. You can point directly, I would wager, at the success of Aquaman in late 2019, in the same year that Endgame came out. I think there are, let's not forget the, and I'm going to be judgmental here, the pretty poor Venom films that made an abysmal amount of money despite their quality, as a result of them being loosely connected with Marvel being the title. I think the genre itself would like two films that do well commercially, that also do well critically, and they also please audiences. And we have two films that tick all of those boxes out in the cinemas right now, in my opinion. I know there's some people who don't like them online, but for me, I think the general consensus seems to be we have two films in the cinemas at the moment that, yes, are superhero films, but they are telling fun stories, and they genuinely are both fun films, with good cast that I don't believe are politically charged, that are audience pleasing, that critically did okay to good, and I think are making money currently in the cinemas. Superman's already proved it can eke out the biggest profit so far this year. Oh, sorry, not profit, but it made $500 million in its 2 weeks now it's been in cinemas. That's promising. So if it can eke out at summer and get to $750-800 million worldwide, I think that's going to be a success story. I think Fantastic Four First Steps can do the same, because I think the word of mouth is positive enough on it. There's not required viewing of Marvel TV shows or any other movies you have to see for it, and I don't believe there actually is. You can go into this one cold, and whether that's a sign of things to come, I personally like universe building. I like the sort of interconnectivity. If audiences are going off that, then I can see the rationale to sort of, like they used to, maybe more so in phases 2 and 3, have a Guardians of the Galaxy film come out, you didn't know anything about going in, you were blown away by how good it was, and then there is a sort of couple of interconnected tissue Easter eggs almost that you may be able to latch onto and use to spear off onto future projects. But look, and I imagine James Gunn's probably got a similar rationale in mind. But having seen Superman, he's all in on interconnectivity. And he confirmed even during Comic-Con weekend, I think he said that Peacemaker is going to open with Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern character, being in the first episode. So there you go, he's all in on it as well. Those are my thoughts. I think we should be celebrating the success of these two superhero films in an era where, like I said, there's so much negativity around superhero genre filmmaking, and we should laud and applaud them, I think, for being good films that are pleasing audiences. Anyway, what do you think? Am I just screaming at the wind? Because I feel like I do sometimes on this channel. Let me know in the comment section below. Please leave a like and subscribe on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.